Welcome! In this video, we're going to dive into the Raster Draw toolset. You can access these tools from the ribbon, the tool palettes, the toolbar, or the classic toolbar menus, whatever works best for you. In a drawing, you can create images, insert them in any format, and even have multiple copies of the same image. Now, let's look at Save and Save As. These options save the images themselves, not the drawing that holds them. For some file formats, an encoding method dialog box will pop up, asking you to choose how you want the encoding and data to be organized. This section provides functions to manage images. The drop-down menu shows all the images inserted in your drawing. From here, you can hide or show an image, zoom to it, or delete it. You can also select all inserted images, toggle the display of image frames, and use the raster data query to track the cursor and display the color values of individual pixels in real time. In this section, you can position, scale, and rotate an image in a progeCAD drawing. Let's explore the correlate command. First, select the image, then choose the selection method, either points or a rectangle. In this example, we'll use a rectangle. We select the points to define the rectangle in the raster image, and then in the vector drawing. When asked whether to crop the image, we choose No, and we do the same when asked whether to move the image, but you can decide based on your needs. The result is a correctly rotated and scaled image. The Edit section provides tools for adjusting and editing images. For example, the Change Color Depth command lets you modify the color depth. You can also set the transparency as needed. Let's take a look at this drawing, which contains both the image and vectors. Using the Merge Vector command, we can merge the vectors into the image. In this case, we chose to delete the vectors after merging. Let's now take a look at the tools for image vectorization and raster text recognition. We'll start with the command used to vectorize an image. Once the area of interest is selected, a dialog box appears with the vectorization options. The vectorization method defines the approach used to transform raster data into vector representations. The first two methods are algorithms that operate along the centerline of the pixels, while Canny is an edge detection method that operates along pixel boundaries to trace the contours of objects. The approximation algorithm can only be selected if the Canny vectorization method has been chosen. On the right, we have general options such as the layer, the possibility to insert the vectorization as a block while specifying its position, and options for color. You can also select whether to vectorize using only polylines, or whether to remove the vectorized part from the original image. It is also possible to modify the previously selected area or choose to vectorize the entire image. There is no single best method, as the choice always depends on the type of image to be vectorized and the specific requirements of the task. Here is the result. Since we had chosen this option, the vectorized part has been removed from the image. Let's see how to use Recognize Text. First, we select the image and the area containing the text. Be careful, the way you select the area affects the recognition results. It's important to consider the text orientation. In our case, the correct way to do it is like this. As we can see, not all words have been recognized. Now, let's analyze the different components. Set languages, specify the list of recognizable languages. Mode determines the recognition settings. Threshold sets the minimum accuracy required for each recognized line or word. Style indicates the font style. Here, we specify the type of text. Recognition type, choose whether each word is treated as a separate entity, or if the entire line of text is converted into a single text entity. Let's change it to line. As you can see, the recognition is not perfect yet. We can adjust the threshold by lowering its value, and this allows us to achieve perfect recognition. Let's take a look at the setup window. Some of the previously mentioned options are repeated here. With additional settings available, you can specify whether to keep the selected part of the image or not. In this case, select Rub, adjust the text width, choose an existing layer or directly enter the name of a new one, and define the text color. And here is the result. At this stage, we can edit the text. There are no right or wrong choices for text recognition, as it all depends on the image you start with. Learn more and download the free trial on our website.